Hello and welcome to Tabitha is Okay. I'm Tabitha and this is Oxygen Not Included. If you have not heard of this game, it is a fabulous resource management and survival game. I want to apologize for the centering of the video right now. I fix it in the recording in just a minute, but we're going to start off slightly off-centered. We're doing a no sweat mode, which in regards to this game, what that means is there is going to be time to solve problems. We are 3 clones, which you don't know why you're a clone or anything yet. You just know that you are a clone. 3 clones are put in the center of an asteroid, a random asteroid in space, and have to survive. There's limited resources. You have to be able to actually physically reach whatever you get. So like there's lots of ladder building. As you can see in the bottom corner of the screen right now, they're building a ladder and a water pump. There we go. Here we go. I fix it. This is the little home base I've started creating through the chores that they're doing. As a player, you get to set their tasks and prioritize them and help develop their skills. So what I'm having them do first and foremost is build an outhouse, which is over to the right, kind of where they are right now. And then to the left, there's clean drinking water fairly close to their starting point, like basically right underneath it. So I'm having them tap into this so that they'll have access to clean water right away, which can be super important to help not have germs be spread. How relevant is this? I'm also sort of enclosing it because a problem that I frequently have when I play this game is that the clean drinking water does not stay clean for long, and that can be so frustrating. It's something that I've learned you kind of have to play through, and some of your clones might get sick, but they usually don't die from contaminated water, especially if you can make medicine before it gets that bad. Right now, I'm also having them, you can see in the center there, they are generating electricity now. And while they're sleeping, I'm preparing tasks for them to make a bathroom, essentially. There's a wash basin and then making walls so that it can be enclosed as well and help stop the spread of pollution in their incredibly limited environment. Obviously, I have this sped up. It's 4 times sped up. This would be like about an hour of content if I didn't speed it up. So like, I don't think it's necessary to watch them do every tiny little task. If you disagree with me, please comment below. But as for now, I think sped up is great. And then just explaining what I'm having them do. So yeah, being slightly more formal, this is the little baby's cradle colony, which is what I'm going to call it. And what I officially named it in-game in the save file and everything. I am going to be doing an Oxygen Not Included run where I try to actually figure out automation, which is a little bit further down the line. It'll definitely be a few videos before we even start that process, because we need to be making plastic before we really get too deep into that. So we'll need to like find petroleum and natural gases and things like that. Which isn't a choice I would make personally if I was in this situation, but they industrialize. Their whole goal is to get to space. Like the whole game progress goes towards developing their community and their science skills until they can leave the asteroid that they found themselves in when they like appeared through this little teleporter thing. And there's some lore that sort of reveals, no spoilers, that sort of reveals that someone created you and is sending you here sort of as an experiment, which is also a funny in-game way of explaining why there's only, I think, like maybe 50 or 100 characters and they get recycled over and over again. Duh, they're clones. I think that's really great and really fun. As you can see here, we have a new resident coming in. You can also pick a care package on occasion, like right there is a type of egg which you can either raise to be pips or you can eat. like a normal egg. But I went with a resident because in the beginning I like to get people doing as many chores as possible, especially when there's like less than half dozen of them, when there's 6 or less. I like them working pretty diligently, basically just to get clean water, get food going, base electricity so that we can generate oxygen, and then a place for them to cleanly go to the bathroom. And sleep, usually, too. I built cots. Like you can see on the top floor there, they were sleeping in cots, which is going to help raise their mood. The little infrared sort of image you saw there was an overlay of what the atmosphere in this area is, and the fact that it's red along the bottom, and you can sort of see a smokiness, like a dark cloud lingering in the bottom. That is carbon dioxide. Oh, here I'm sort of looking around and showing off the materials that are closest to us. We have a lot of good materials. There's chlorine, there's nitrogen, there's more clean water. There's some polluted water, but by the time we get to it, hopefully we will have the resources to clean it. And then there's a lot of iron and copper. There's plenty of algae, but I think I'm going to, for this particular asteroid colony, focus more on generating energy instead of with physical labor, instead of trying to convert algae into oxygen, just because algae can be run through very quickly, even though it's technically more ecologically friendly than having basically one person constantly running on a treadmill. This is the very brief glimpse there of the science screen. I had one of these characters going through and updating their science research constantly. Like, we're going to be developing the skill to get basic farming and also fertilizer, which also allows you to empty the outhouses into the fertilizer and like process it so it's safe to use for food. I really like the attention to detail that went into this game, even though it can be a total grind if you do not like resource management and survival games. Oxygen Not Included is not for you. I can get frustrated with this game and put it down for months at a time, but ultimately this is a game I personally play again and again and again. Sometimes to the bewilderment of the people who live with me when I go, "No, they pissed in the water again!" That is not something I've screamed multiple times from my office before. Okay, so they have a place to wash their hands. They have 2 toilets. They have some basic energy. They're gaining new skills right here on this screen. I got the bed and bath achievement, which is basically saying like you have enough beds and you have a bathroom set aside for your colony, which is a great start. I'm also getting the research going here to do what is called the first furnishing, but it provides light bulbs, which is something that I wanted so that I could start building a farm right away, because something that I normally do is create the microbe musher, which it sounds silly, but that's the name of their like manual food making machine. But I'm going to try, I think, going a little bit more natural and using a little bit less energy, especially from manpower created energy, because I'm already going to be using more energy to create oxygen, which I mentioned earlier. Here we go. You can see me putting the lights in, slowly preparing to build a farm down below the energy. The care package I just took was water, because again, fresh water can be really hard to come by. So I'm going to have them put that in the tank and keep it safe. We have some storage boxes that have been built, that dozen or so copy where they're building right now. Those are little storage boxes for putting all these materials that they will eventually clean up that are littered along the floor. It's stuff like clay and algae and dirt basic materials. But keeping them all in those storage units lets me save them and use them for later, including if we are super desperate, there is just enough nutrition in dirt to keep your clones alive if you feed them dirt mixed with water, which is so gross, but also respect. This is a survival situation. Okay, so I'm going to be setting up here in a minute more tasks for them to be doing, slowly building out their water tank so that it will be protected from hopefully bathroom disasters, as well as other disasters, but most importantly, bathroom disasters. And I'm going to build out a like a science laboratory for them above it, and hopefully have room for water filtration and such beneath that pool where I'm hovering right now. Yeah, this is going to be really fun. I love this game, and I have never properly explored automation, which is basically like using the robotics and like transportation concepts and the research that your clones learn through like the months of building their environment, and then create the ability to automatically store and distribute materials, as well as like have computers turn different systems on and off for you because they sense that something's wrong, all of those kinds of things. I've just never gotten that deep into the game, and it's something that I really want to do. So that's the plan with this one. Little Baby's Cradle. I think it's hilarious. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. And these first 4 babes are already working so hard. Look at this colony. It's so beautiful. It's really shaping up. They have their own room right now. And they started the farm there. You can see under the lights, they already have a few planted, and they're going to start building a new room for new friends. Well, if you liked this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.